Hello everyone and welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to be giving my honest opinion on the top 6 classes in Dead Rails I like. So number 6 is the miner. The miner is it's a pretty good class. I like it. The only benefits of it is you spawn with 2 coal, the mining helmet gives a little bit of light, and the pickaxe you can use to mine ore in the newest update. That's kind of all there is to the miner class. Yeah, so and number 5 is the doctor. Now, the doctor is a pretty good class, but I think bandages and snake oil are pretty easy to find. Although snake oil is a little bit expensive to buy, um, that's kind of it for the doctor class. But you can kind of find snake oil and bandages if you get lucky with a doctor's office along the way. So yeah, that's kind of it. Number 4 is the arsonist, and I like this because if you're like trying to clear a town in like early game and you don't have a gun yet, it does double fire damage, but I would recommend having a horse before you actually go in a town and raid it. But I like it because it does double fire damage, and if you just get a big group of enemies or zombies or whatever and throw them all the time down, they will easily die, and you can just loot the whole town for basically free. Yeah, so that's kind of it for arsonist class. Number 3 is the conductor. Now, I like the conductor because, it you can beat the game faster and get to outposts faster, and you start off with 2 coal, so you only have to buy 1 coal at the general store, and you have more money left over. Yeah, that's kind of it. The conductor class is a basic class, but it's also a very good class. It used to be so you only had half of the normal health, but they updated it so you have full health. But the only downside is you don't spawn with the melee open. But if you're playing with other players, there's nothing to worry about. Yeah, that's kind of it for this class. And yeah, so number 2 is the Alamo. The Alamo is a very good class because you spawn with metal sheet, barbed wire, and you still get a shovel and helmet. Now, the metal sheet you can use to board up your train, and the barbed wire you can also use to board up your train. So later in the game, when you're going toward the last outpost, you don't have to worry about buying sheet metal or barbed wire, because a lot of people like to get like as much sheet metal as they can to board up their whole train, but you don't really need to do that. You can just board up where you sit and the windows, and you should be fine. Um, and you just might need 2 bottles or 1 bottle of snake oil, and that's it. And you can beat the game like that. And number 1 is the survivalist. Now, I really like this class, even though I don't have it, but I've seen how it works. So the lower your health, the more damage you do. Now, I like this because if you're in a situation where you're about to die and there's like a couple zombies in front of you, you can do more damage to a zombie so you can kill them easier and still survive. This probably works best for like werewolves or like things like that, like stronger bosses. Now, the reason I put this on number 1 is because I usually get into situations where there's a lot of enemies. That's kind of how I die. There's a lot of enemies um, like kind of clumped up around me. And this would be a good class. Also, the arsonist class would be a good one if you're because you don't take Molotov damage yourself. Now, I know I left out a couple, so I'm going to give you my opinion on those too. First, the high roller. The high roller is a very good class because you can get more money to buy guns and anything you want earlier in the game, but you're 10 times more likely to be struck by lightning. But if you have lightning rods on your train, you shouldn't have anything to worry about. So yeah, that's kind of it for that class. Next is the cowboy. I like the cowboy because it spawns with a horse and also a revolver. A revolver, it's okay, it's not the best gun, but it's still a gun. See if you see like an outlaw camp and there's outlaws, you can easily take them out. And the horse, like if you see a barn or something, a building far away, you can easily get to the barn or anything. And that's it for the cowboy class. Next is the vampire. I think the vampire is a very good class because you spawn with the vampire knife and you have increased movement speed. The only downside is you take damage in direct sunlight, But if you just hold something like an object, anything up to the sun and it block it, you won't take any damage. Yeah, so the vampire knife basically it gives you health if you damage an enemy, but you can still die kind of easily even with it. So that's it for the vampire class. Next is the priest class. Now the priest class is a very good class because it spawns with 4 items that you usually had to go to get to a town. Like you would have to go to a town to get crucifix and holy water. And it's also immune to lightning strikes, so you don't need any lightning rods or anything. And that's it for the priest class, in my opinion. Next is the zombie class. The zombie class is a pretty good class, but you can eat dead bodies to get more health. But zombies, like just normal zombies, they don't give you that much health. But werewolves give you more. But like zombies and vampires, they don't give you that much health. But um, you're less detected by enemies, which is good. Because like if you're trying to raid Fort Constitution and the horse people spawn, they won't notice you right away like if you would have a normal class. Now, last but not least is the Ironclad. Now, the Ironclad is a very good class because you spawn with full armor and also you still have a shovel. And they used to get it by 20%, but they lowered it to 10%, so you can move a little bit faster with the armor. And it is 100 bonds. Um, so yeah, that's my opinions on all the classes in Dead Rails. My favorite one is probably the Alamo because I like to board up my train. That's how I beat the game usually. So I hope you guys enjoyed today's video, and I'll see all of you in the next video. Bye.